Hello?
Hi, this is Justin Kantor from The Groove at Berklee.
Hi, Justin. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for your patience in hooking up with me. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's no problem.
Cool.
How have you been?
I've been very well, thank you. Just getting back to normal like everybody else.
Yeah, I know. I'm here in New York myself, so it's been a little crazy, as you can imagine.
Just a little. I was there when the attack happened, so I
yeah.
It was deep.
I know. It's still kind of just the kind of thing that puts you at a loss for words.
It does, doesn't it?
Hard to comprehend. So, I mean, how has it affected you, I guess, musically or otherwise?
Yeah, well, I think must be in a digestion period, I guess the word I want to use.
Yeah.
Because I can't seem to express anything about this right now.
Yeah, I know. It's just too soon.
Yeah, I just got to let this all sink in and hope if it's meant to come out musically, it will, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things being done. We're about to do a Wave concert here in L.A. Wave for Peace, it's called.
Oh, Wave for Peace. Okay.
Wave radio station here in L.A.
Oh, okay.
Putting it on, and a bunch of artists are getting together. We're going to perform for a free concert, yeah.
This is for The Groove, which is Berklee College of Music's paper. So I guess I'll start with, you spent your early childhood growing up in Brooklyn. So what are your main memories of that?
A lot of music, because my parents are both musicians. My mother's a singer and a songwriter, and my dad is a drummer and a singer.
Okay.
So I was exposed to all kinds of music when I was growing up, from Broadway to jazz to pop. Everything was in my house.
Yeah.
So I really had a great education.
Yeah. So it was there from the start.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And at age 12, moving to Hamilton, what was that transition like for you?
Well, that was pretty much a major culture shock. I went to from a predominantly black environment, neighborhood, and school, to a predominantly being the only white kid in my entire school. I mean, only black kid in my entire school, and being the only black family. Maybe there was 2 black families in town or something like that.
Oh, wow.
So that was a pretty drastic change from Brooklyn.
Yeah. So Hamilton, that's in Ontario, right?
Yeah.
And is that a French-speaking? That's not a French-speaking province.
Not French. Yeah,
okay.
French is in the eastern part.
Montreal and all that. Okay. I know you kept up your musical involvement there early on, like in hair. Yes.
I did the hair show. And that really gave me, I was in a group in Canada as well. We had our own, they're called Dr. Music. We had our own.
Oh, okay. We
had our own TV series and our own radio show.
Was that the Music Machine?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was when...
Music Machine was our national, it was like a CBC national show with the singers. And, we kind of revolutionized musical TV for Canada.
It was like a variety show where you hosted and introduced... It
was a variety show of the hippie era, because they really didn't have any variety shows like ours, doing pop music, the pop songs.
Yeah.
We worked like a cover band, but really, really good, about 8 singers.
So you performed the hits of the day.
Yeah, we performed the hits of the day. But it was a great education.
Yeah. You were a teenager when you did that, I guess?
Yeah.
Wow.
And also, we had a gospel radio show, the same group. And I used to have to write 2 gospel songs every week.
Oh, really?
And that was my lesson on how to write songs. That's how I learned how to really write under pressure to come up with these 2 songs every week.
Oh, wow. So the radio show, was it the same kind of format, or you had...
The radio show was total gospel music.
Okay.
And the TV show was popular variety music.
So how did you manage to get that, those gigs of doing the shows? Was it connections you had established there within the industry, or was it just
Well, I think they picked us... Yeah, we were in the hair cast, so a bunch of people from hair went down to audition for this TV show, and I got it. And my my ex-husband was also one of the people who was chosen to be in the group. He wasn't in hair, but that's how we met.
Oh, okay. So it came out that way. And was it at the same point or a little later on that you started doing session work for a lot of people like Elton John and Barbra Streisand?
In '73, I moved to Los Angeles.
Okay.
And started doing background sessions for everybody.
Yeah.
From Streisand to Bette Midler, to, just all kinds of people.
How did you get your start in that? Was it through what you had done while in Ontario, or did you just kind of...
I was lucky enough to have a friend here named Smitty, William Smith. He's passed away now. He's a songwriter, and he was connected in the music business, so he helped us to get background sessions. That's how it started.
Oh, okay. Was that relatively easy? I mean, you think of today when, it's pretty
not easy.
Rough, and so...
We took out the yellow pages and went through every record company, dropping off tapes to every record company, every publisher, and we just beat down doors until once somebody opened it.
Yeah. And so you ended up touring with some of the acts as well, right?
Well, yes, I did. I toured with Elton for a little bit. That was a major transformation, and toured. Actually, we only did like one gig with him, but it was a major gig. It was when he first reconfigured his band in '75. He started all his original band.
And where was that, the gig that you did?
75 was at Wembley Stadium for 90,000 people.
Wow.
So that was pretty good. Yeah.
And I think, one of the acts you toured with, Cheryl Ladd, I guess that was one of the first songs you landed that you had written on an album, I guess. Think It Over?
No, not one of the first. But
not one of the first?
It was earlier on, yes. Cheryl and Anne Murray and, all kinds of...
So what was the first song that you actually landed on an artist album of yours that you had written?
Well, the very first was probably Dr. Music. That was my very first song that was recorded.
Okay, it was the song Dr. Music.
Yeah, it was in the album in Canada. Now, the first American artist to record my song was Rufus.
Oh, okay.
It was Please Pardon Me.
Okay. And that was, like, I guess, 70...
That would be 75, 74, maybe.
Okay, great. And I was curious, from touring with Elton John, was that at all how you ended up on his label on Rocket Records?
Yeah.
The two albums?
All of that was around the same period in 75. We were singing background for another artist, and Elton, president of his record company, was in the audience, and he became very interested in my ex and I as artists, as a duo. So we signed to make 2 albums for Rocket Records.
Yeah, okay. And what made you after that you decided to pursue a solo career, so how did you go about that?
Well, after we made 2 albums, had a baby, got divorced, I decided to make a solo album. I had no choice because I was no longer a duo.
Yeah.
I had to keep going, so I turned into a solo artist, and I made my first solo album in '79, and I had a top 30 hit then called So Good So Right.
Yep. And had you signed the deal when you recorded the album, or did you finance the recording yourself, or how did that work?
Well, in those days, wasn't too much recording yourself going on, because nobody could afford the studio.
Yeah.
Now we have home studios, but
I know.
Back then that wasn't so popular. So, forgot the question.
No, I was just asking if you'd already signed the deal when you recorded the album, or you did it before you signed it.
No, I made some demos and hunted around a bunch of different record companies, different people. I had great offers. But I went with A&M because I was a big Carole King fan.
Oh, yeah.
And she was from A&M, and that was my dream record company.
So you actually signed directly to them, or what about Horizon?
I signed to Horizon, which was an A&M company.
Right.
That was Tommy LaPuma signed me. He's now runs Verve, I think.
Verve, okay. Yeah.
I think it's Verve, yeah.
He was at Elektra for a while, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Warner Brothers, and everywhere.